What's up? This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible Today and Non-Fungible Tomorrow, and happy Friday. And as I said, I will change my daily video model. Rather than, spending a lot of time going through each article in details, I will be more selective, and I do want to give you an overview every day when you wake up in the morning if you're in the US, or just give you an overview of what is happening in the market. Before I begin, I do want to share with you that in order for me to really do these research, what I do is that I do monitor different type of news, right? I monitor Web3 news, I monitor NFT news, and then I monitor the traditional news because that's how you can keep afloat with the market. So without further ado, let's go to the traditional news. Traditional news headlines, this is what you need to know before the stock markets open on Friday. Right now, all I can say is that the market is trading very cautiously because we have been rallying on Monday. We have been rallying quite quickly, right? But the market, with more and more news about inflation, about interest rate hike, the market is indeed trading very cautiously because don't forget, we're still in a bear market, right? And also, even though the US say we're not in a recession, technically we are in one, right? So so stocks future pointed to a rally Friday, okay? But at the same time, market is cautiously trading upwards. But at the same time, you do see a lot of chops in crypto, right? You still see like just a few, like 10 or 15 minutes ago, we just had like a chop in the Bitcoin, and now we're just slowly going back up, right? You see all of these chops, right? So this really shows you that the market is actually very cautious. So back to the traditional news, right? The Democrats are gonna pass one of the big bills. So this is the inflation bill, that Inflation Reduction Act that they were talking about. Could this provide some energy for the market? I do not know, but could it, after passing this bill, like, because, right now the market is kind of going back up, right? Could it be anticipation for passing this bill, thinking that inflation could be controlled, right? But not just looking at the US, if you look globally, right? Look at this, right? Hong Kong's Q2 GDP shrinks 1.3 year over year. The market in global is kind of shrinking, right? And then you have Argentina hikes interest rate by 950 basis points to 69.5 as inflation hit 20 years high. So yeah, absolutely. The crypto market is pretty much dominated in a sense that by the Nasdaq and also by the US market, right? But globally, things aren't looking so well. Like UK economy contracts in the second quarter as cost of living crisis spike. So people are now finally feeling the pressure of inflation, and at the same time, because winter is coming, right? And also right now there's an energy crisis in Europe, right? Because of the war in Russia, in Ukraine. There's a chance that in winter things might escalate, right? The demand for using electricity would go high, the demand for energy, and whether there's going to be a supply. So there might be a shortage, right? So things are looking bleak, right? So yeah, that's the traditional news. Let's move on to crypto. So as I mentioned, our crypto market, we do have a slight retrace. We are now 1.13 trillion, which is still better than a while back after the inflation, CPI announcement result. Right now, Bitcoin, so Ethereum is rallying to a certain extent. Well, I wouldn't say Ethereum is rallying, but Ethereum is holding up quite better in the last 24 hours compared to other crypto. And I will share more about this, okay? But if you look at the total stablecoin market cap, in general, the market is losing money, like because total crypto market cap reduced, stable coins reduced, right? So it basically means that the money aren't really going to the stables, but in general, the market cap has gone down. But I will say the market is quite cautious because you do see all of these red, right? But at the same time, you do have other, NFTs other crypto that's popping, right? And this one is the Huobi token. And the reason for this is actually there's talk that the founder of Huobi is trying to sell his stake, and that Tron, Justin's son, and also, Sam Bankman-Fried is planning to maybe participate in buying over, Huobi, right? So we'll cover that really quickly. So market cap still sideways. At least we don't see a huge dump. When we see a huge dump, then we have to be cautious, right? But if you don't see, okay, we are retracing, but it wasn't a huge dump, right? We're retracing back and previous like 2 days level, right? So hopefully it could hold up, and hopefully this narrative could hold up, and we'll see like at least some highs before we dump to quite lows, right? Bitcoin dominance is interesting. It's 40.88, right? Before it was 41-ish, right? So I think the dominance has been going to Ethereum because of the merge. At the same time, interestingly, right? If you look at DeFi, it's slowly creeping back up, so our confidence is coming back. So crypto news, let us go through really quickly. I think the first important news that you have to know, well, first of all, DeFi exchange DYDX blocking addresses associated with Tornado Cash, and at the same time, there's another DeFi protocol is also blocking addresses that are suspicious, right? So people are saying that, hey, are you really decentralized since you are blocking these addresses? And the reason why they have to block these addresses is because of the regulatory concern. The U.S. Treasury has decided to, block Tornado Cash, right? And there's also news to that today and just came out a while back. So another bullish news is that BlackRock, after partnering with Coinbase, launched a spot private Bitcoin private trust. So what they do is that now they have a spot trust which is given to institutional client. So institutional client can actually buy Bitcoin through BlackRock. Okay, so this is like a spot trust. Okay, and then based on that, and then BlackRock will do the they could do the trading there, right? So another big news that is bullish, Ethereum merge may be coming sooner than expected. So they decide that the merge is going to come on September the 15th or the 16th, right? So that is, they kind of pushed the date earlier, right? Before it was September 19th, now it's like 3 days earlier. So definitely, people are bullish, right? But at the same time, there are cautions, right? People are like, hey, we are still in a bear market, right? We are like the world, you see the inflation that I was talking about, the world is slowing down. Could we still sustain such high prices of the tokens, right? So another one, MakerDAO founders caught on DAI to drop dollar peg amid Tornado Cash fallout. So basically what happened is that because USDC could freeze the funds related to the Tornado Cash wallets, right? So MakerDAI tokens is actually backed by the USDC. So they're saying that, hey, maybe we should just go FOMO into Ethereum and use Ethereum to back it. And Vitalik say that, hey, you shouldn't use a very volatile asset to back it, right? So that's something, that was interesting to watch, right? Taiwan turned to Ethereum IPFS tech to drop Chinese cyber hackers. So another application of DeFi file storage, okay? Sales creditor moved to block company from selling mined Bitcoin. So seems like the creditors are not satisfied with what sales is doing. Trying to block them from selling mined Bitcoin. And also Ethereum Classic hit 4 months high as merge opposes, which is the narrative of like a probably fork chain, right? Crypto exchange Binance visas 450,000 from Curve Finance hack, which is great. So ZZ said that, hey, they found out that the hacker was trying to move money to Binance and withdraw it, but then they know that these are the hacked fund from the Curve hack, right? So it really shows you that centralized exchange do have, they are able to see a lot of things, so which is interesting, right? So Huobi chief in top to sell 1 billion stake in crypto exchange, okay? So this is what I was talking about, and this is also one of the narratives that drove Huobi to increase by 15.7%. Because if they have a new buyer, so now it's reducing because the whole market is dumping right now, I guess. If they're able to find a buyer, and it could be FTX or if it could be Trons or Justin Sun, it could be bullish, right? And so that's the reason why I was rallying. And finally, Dutch police arrest alleged Tornado Cash developer. More arrests not ruled out. So there's huge talk right now about whether code, like open source code, is freedom of speech or that type of stuff, and also why are you arresting the Tornado Cash founders, right? So moving on to NFT. Oops, clicked the wrong transition. But anyways, we're at NFT news. So Pudgy Penguins introduced a toy lineup licensed directly from the community. Cool Cat announced that the Cool Cat Community Council, the council is comprised of members of a community who have significant contribution. Okay, so Pudgy Penguin flipped Cool Cat, right? Because there is development in this market. So there is another 9get NFT project. So Petsland, and which is called Petsland, and the 9get CEO confirmed that it's real, but too early, and he's now focused on Potato and also focused on Memeland, right? But he did say that a lot of memes are done related to pets, and so I think in the future there might be some memes related projects that is pet driven that is under the 9get group. Okay, so next is NFT going green. So merge is great, September 15, 16. Once that happens, if the NFTs would be more environmentally friendly. Okay, so OpenSea talking about how they changed the policy. So the news police report requirement will be applied retroactively. Okay, people are asking this. It won't. You want to dispute whether an item was indeed stolen, please reach out to the support site, right? So That's it, guys. I think these are the major news that you should know. So guys, this is Friday. Trade safe. As I said, even if you're down, I personally am down. I bought Ethereum. Guess who bought Ethereum again at a high price, right? Me. But even if you're going down right now, the market is dominated by the Nasdaq. So you want to trace it, look at the Nasdaq. But in the end, tomorrow is Saturday, and then the day after that is Sunday. When the volume is low, that is where we could push up further, right? Because in the past weekends, you have noticed that our Ethereum price right now is high. It's not just because of CPI announcements, Fed announcement type of stuff. It is because during the weekends, some whales have been pumping things up and down, creating much more volatility due to the low volume. So price-wise, it was able to bring certain prices to go up. So even though if you're down low right now, as long as we still have this narrative, I don't think we should be hyperly worried, but we should be worried in a sense that when the film even more higher and higher and higher, then that could signal that, hey, this is kind of overheated. We have to protect our capital. So we don't know the future, but the only thing we can do is just monitor news, right? One interesting news was actually from Lunar Crush. So what I saw from them is that basically what they were saying is that, Peggy Penguin is now ranked pretty high in terms of the social metrics, right? So it really does tell you about how social listening and social sentiment is important to see projects, right? So this is the Pudgy Penguin activity, right? So just wanted to share this interesting news, and the reason for this activity is actually because of this toy lineup, right? So that is, guy. Hope you enjoyed this type of speed. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC. And let me know in the comments, right? If you like this speed rather than just going to deep dive into the articles and whether this is helpful to give you an overview of what's happening in the market, right? So this is your host, Non-Fungible TC, signing out.